I remember when I first started in Nollywood, I started dating this guy and I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. So much later I realized I had nobody around me. Something happened that made me realize I didn't have anybody to call that day.
What happened?
Hey, we're gonna need more alcohol. I get home, before I could say anything, he's like, I saw on social media, and after he does that, he holds me and he's shaking me by the shoulders and he's like, I didn't hit you. It wasn't that hard. You know that they say that when you hit something, you first see like stars. He's a big guy. So, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, Male.
I remember calling one of my friends.
Yeah.
And she said to me, she said, you can't tell anybody. And she said, it can't be that bad because you're not going to find somebody that treats you the way he treats you.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Dear Ife Series, where we bring in your stories and dissect them with our friends who come here on the show. We also talk about their lives and what they've been through, letting you know that in this life, your situation isn't peculiar. You are not alone. We are all in this together. Today, I have with me the delectable actress, champagne princess, beauty, brains, bold, and everything in between. The delectable, the beautiful, and queen influencer, Idia Aisien.
Hi. Thank you for having me, Ife.
Thank you for coming. How are you feeling?
I'm a little nervous, but let's
Tell
go.
me why. Why
I don't know
nervous?
what to expect.
Yeah.
I know that you go deep.
Yeah.
You're not a surface person. And I'm just here trying to be myself and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So.
But you shouldn't be nervous with me. We just all the time.
That's true. That's true.
So
That's true.
just-
But now there are people in on the gist.
So you'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll be fine.
I trust you.
How are you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hanging in there.
Yes.
I'll say that. It's tough, and it's not peculiar to me because everybody's feeling it everywhere, all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's heavy.
Which one is peculiar to you?
The fact that I can't complain because people feel like I'm privileged. That makes
That makes it tough.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because then you can't really just
Express.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, who are you to complain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you want to complain about? Complain here.
Everything. I mean, life.
Yeah.
Money could be better. Nigeria. Love. Relationships, friends. There's so much. There's just, everything just feels heavy. And I think this year in particular, last year, God did a whole lot of work on me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like last year I was burning in fire. And I was like, okay, 2025 is my gift, right? Because if I survive 2024,
I can.
then 2025 is him saying, my baby,
Rest.
I'm going to give you everything that you lost.
Yeah.
It's like, it's another test again.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Is it not getting better?
One of my close friends told me that it's a matter of perspective. Even if you look at things from a positive standpoint, yeah, they may appear better, and yeah, it might affect certain things, how you handle them, and the outcomes, but it doesn't change the fact that it's hard.
It's still hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. Let's talk about what's hard, because I always say that in talking, of course, some of these burdens are shared. Not everything, because we still have to work to make sure that whatever we're going through, we try and resolve, or we go with it. Because this life, sometimes you can't resolve it. There are some things that you just have to let time, solve. So let's talk about the ones that we can actually talk about, and hopefully it lessens our burden a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about love, for example.
Have you ever been in a relationship and every day your partner assures you that we're fine,
But
you're not fine.
yeah.
You know? And I feel like also because women are quite, I don't want to say we're quite sensitive. I don't know if that's the right word.
We feel it.
But
We know. Yeah. Yeah.
We're not fine. And with guys, certain boxes may not be ticked, certain things may not be happening, but they're like, we're cool. And I feel like that's how you glide and go with the flow. And before you know it, you've been dating this person for 7 years.
Yes.
And, not that there's anything wrong with dating someone for many, many years, but I've always thought that my romance would be like, bam, bam, bam.
You're such a romantic.
Yeah.
Like you want something.
I want the butterflies. I want the... I want to feel alive. I want to feel like there's somebody there supporting me. Like I want to feel like I'm not alone. I want to feel like I'm part of a unit. And
you don't feel like that?
No.
If you don't feel like that, how does somebody now think it's okay?
I think people are different. And I don't want to say the problem started with love languages. But now it's become a thing where...
What's a love
because
language?
your love languages are this and mine are different.
Yeah.
I'm giving what I have and you're not accepting. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that's annoying.
Yeah.
Because your love language might be words, but sometimes words are not enough.
You're giving what you have, but they're not accepting it.
Yes, in the sense that the person might feel like, but I give you words of affirmation. And you're like, come. You don't call me every day. You don't this, you don't that. When we're not talking to me, I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. I'm the most beautiful girl that you can't call every day.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You need your partner to call you every day.
Yeah. Isn't that normal? Like, it's like, to me, it's like I want my partner to be like my best friend. So I don't know how other people reason their own relationship.
The matter. Yeah.
But my own relationships that I've been blessed to have, some not so blessed. No offense to anybody. Yeah. But the relationships I've been blessed to have, I speak to my partner more than, we're talking like at least even 5 times a day because we're living life together, you know? Yeah. I'm making decisions with you. I'm asking your opinion on things. You're asking me the same. Yeah. But I feel like in some Nigerian relationships, it's very...
tough.
I called you at night now. Okay, but I called you in the morning. Yeah, but 2 days ago we spoke. I'm like...
What?
2
days ago we spoke. What happened yesterday? You're too busy.
But last week, I called you. I told you that I was going to be traveling with the boys and I may not be able to talk while That is why you need to talk to me because you just traveled with the boys. You're in a strange place.
I need to know how you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not even that. I feel like, why is it so difficult for some men, in our case, because we're women, so I can only speak for us, Sha, to understand that constant communication is necessary for the growth of the relationship. The relationship you're in now, this person doesn't understand that, or they think that you're asking for too much.
So they claim I'm not asking for too much. They will say everything that you're saying. If I know I haven't called you, I understand. I will do better. You know how much I love you. You're the only person for me. You want me to call you every day, I'll do that and more. I really love you. I appreciate you. You're everything. And then we have the same conversation next week and the week after. And the
so
week
we're
after,
not doing better.
Yeah.
So the vibe is probably not vibing as it should.
But he's the most amazing human.
Okay.
He's the most amazing human in the sense that, I'm stuck between this life teaching us that we have to look at people's good qualities and appreciate those, and the life of, this is what makes me happy, I grew up with my dad and I talking all the time. My dad would always call me to sit down and, watch TV with him, that quality time. He would always call me. I used to give my dad flowers. So
you don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's such a big deal.
Yeah, I get that. And one of the story we'll be reading together today has as something you just said. I'm like, but he's the most amazing guy.
Us making excuses.
Yes, that's what it's in the story today. But he's the most, I feel like seeing you and people say Idia would never, she has men falling all over her. She would never, those kind of people, the world has a perspective, right?
Yeah.
Yes, men are coming, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is, are we getting the ones who we are supposed to? And now, in the place that you are, which I can see is a place of growth and consistent growth in that case, do you look back at relationships that you've been and you be like, I shouldn't have been in that?
So I've been in some relationships that, I would say all my relationships, the good thing, about them is that I learned certain lessons, and I finally know exactly what I don't want and what I want.
Yes.
I've met controlling people. Like, I've met people that, why you're an actress, you know how actresses are perceived. From the type of family you're from, you're not supposed to be acting. You know what? My family will put you on salary every month. You need to give up your job acting. I remember when I first started in Nollywood, I started dating this guy, and I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. So all my offers, the movies that were coming in, because of course, you just do one big film, the script's boring.
Yeah.
He'll be like, no, don't do this one. So I was turning down stuff thinking that after our first one, I don't say the Billy word, but you are okay. Do you understand? And he's literally telling you, you're too good for this, you're too good for this, and you are really seeing the money.
Yeah.
You are seeing the lifestyle, you are seeing I was on cloud nine. So I didn't need my friends anymore. I was avoiding my family because he was everything. He made...
Why were you avoiding your family?
Because he was telling me things like, you're the last child. Your family, are they really treating you well, giving you what you deserve? You're just putting things in your head like, you can have more.
Wow.
My friends as well. I don't like this friend. I don't like that friend. I've confirmed that this your friend is a this, so you can't be around her. It was much later. You don't realize when you're in it. It's much later I realized I had nobody around me. It was me and it was him.
Was that at the point when you were still with him or after?
I was still inside. But something happened. Something happened that made me realize I didn't have anybody to call that day.
What happened?
So one day, I was my usual influencing or whatever. I was working for a brand, and in that brand's contract, they tell you that you're going to go for a certain event or whatever. So even though I wasn't taking scripts and going out and doing stuff, it was confirmed that I had to go for that event for that brand, right? So don't go out, don't this, don't that, don't that, do that. So I went for the event, but I was like, okay, I'll just go for 10 minutes. I'll do red carpet. They were not even happy because they heard that Idia came in and went out. And that's when people start to say, is she the biggest star? Why is she coming for
proud.
5 minutes?
Why is she,
I had to run home because I would be in trouble with my
boyfriend.
Everything, person that was going to marry me and I was going to have kids for. And I get home, his house I used to call home, and before I could say anything, he's like, I saw on social media, pow, pow. And after he does that, he holds me and he's shaking me by the shoulders and he's like, I didn't hit you. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard. Calm down. Calm down. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't painful. Relax. We're just talking. So I first, that they say that when you hit something, you first see like stars. He's a big guy. So, sorry. Anyway, he's a big guy, so can't believe I can actually talk about this now. He's a big guy, so like if you actually hit something and there's like blunt trauma, like you actually do see stars. I don't know where cartoons get that from, but you actually do see. I saw something, and he brought me back to reality that what I just saw didn't happen. So for hours, I was trying to figure out if that actually happened to me. And Nigerians, we start thinking, me, it's not possible. There's a part of us that thinks we're a bit special as Nigerians normally.
Give me a moment to breathe, please. And you can also breathe. Wow. Yeah.
Was it like DV? Because it was like,
It wasn't like DV.
It happened like one time.
It was DV, for those watching. DV means domestic violence. That's what it was. Yes. And he told you to your face, I didn't hit you.
Oh, he was like, he had me by the shoulders like this. So it's like my mind, like, when it happens, you are first dazed. I came back from the shaking, from the vibrations, like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't, come on. I didn't hit you that hard.
Did you feel it wasn't that bad?
I had to explain he's a big guy so they can understand. I said I saw stars. Like, and for me, like, I don't know about other people, growing up, they didn't used to slap me. So, I was like, wow. It was 2 hot slaps. It was, as in, anyway, I was vibrating, and it was like fear, because I've never had to deal with anything like that. So I don't know what you do next. I acted like everything was fine. And then I told him I was going to get something.
There? Yeah.
No. I ran downstairs, I took my keys, and I drove home. And I remember calling one of my friends.
Yeah.
And she said to me, she said, you can't tell anybody. And she said, it can't be that bad, because you're not going to find somebody that treats you the way he treats you. And
So the beating is better than being single. That was the time you felt alone. Like, you felt like...
yes. And even this girl
and
was
the person
one of
that
the
you
people
called,
that I wasn't allowed to hang out with.
and she was the
he
first
was like,
person
no,
you called.
she's this, she's this. So there was nobody else I could... First of all, my family would swing into,
Yeah.
who do we...
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. She was the only person... First of all, that late at night, she was the first person I was like, okay, just... If this girl tells me that I'm not imagining like this... Because I was screaming, I was crying, I was in my car, I was scared. I didn't know if I should go upstairs. I didn't know if he was going to come after realizing I left. I didn't know what was going to happen. So at this time, she was just my first thought. At that time at night, my family, like most of my siblings are married. You don't want to wake somebody up and then they have kids and they're leaving their kids. So she was my first thought to
As
call.
you said, calm down. You're not going to find somebody like that.
Yeah.
And what did you do?
So I started thinking about it, and I said, okay, the best thing to do would be to talk to his friend. And his friend said, shit. Apparently, he'd hit other people before. But they were so convinced that with me, it would be different. Because they were like, it's Idia. He was like, this girl will change me, please. You know, that kind of thing. She's my last bus stop. She's everything. She's my dream girl. Yeah.
And was that the end of that relationship?
I think one of the reasons that I don't want to lie to you. I think one of the reasons that I get so embarrassed is because I stayed with him for almost like 3 more months after that. I did. Came to my house. They like pacified me. They said, come now. Like one person was like, I know he did this, but you know, he loves you, blah, blah, blah. He was like, babe, we're playing. You know, it was very like, so I now started to think, am I overreacting? Like,
yes.
You know, because
they
say I'm dramatic. So I was like, okay, maybe. But also I knew it was real because they didn't used to beat me at home.
So you know,
I know
when you feel it, you know something
it's like
different.
to be handled the wrong way.
Yeah.
I went back. The last time we ever spoke, I saw something. He was sending me messages, really mean messages. And he was like, oh, I can see you at an event and everybody's screaming your name. Oh, please, you're not special. You're never going to be anything. Come home right now. Leave the event right now. And I was at the event and I was getting jittery and I was very uneasy.
Yeah.
I was doing interviews, but I wasn't comfortable because I had to get home because I was going to get into trouble.
Yeah.
And that day he was like, come, we need to talk right now. You're not serious. You want to settle down. Look at you. You know? So it was a movie premiere. I don't want to say which one.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I was panic. I started rushing home. I was like, I need to leave.
Did you leave? You left before it was over?
Of course, absolutely. So I left the event. My brother, somebody that's like a brother to me said to me, he said, Idia, I can hear all the stuff going on between you and your phone. Like I can see you on the phone, you're hanging up your this and you're leaving this place early. Idia, don't go to his house. I was like, I need to talk to him, blah, 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 because he was really upset. When I was on my way to his estate, his tone changed.
Softer.
From being angry, he started saying, baby, I'm sorry I shouted. I love you. Come, let's talk. And immediately I saw a flash of myself falling down the stairs and somebody was covering me. And till today, I'm not the most spiritual person. I will never understand what I saw. but that's what I saw. And I just told my driver, turn around. And I went home. If that thing I saw wasn't real, why is it that since that very day I was supposed to come, you said you love me, blah, 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 your tone changed. Till this very second we're speaking, Ife, we've never messaged each other.
That was the last time.
There was no good morning, no where are you, nothing. Since that day till today, and he's very alive. Till that day till today. That is how we broke up.
How does this spoilt, and I mean that in a good way,
Yeah.
last child, your father showed you all the love that you wanted or you needed, is even wanted, even more than you even needed. Your brothers, even till now, spoil you like crazy. And never have you experienced such abuse. And that was okay. What was your rationale? Even now that you have grown, what do you think kept you there?
I think the isolation, because he was my everything. He was I didn't make a move without asking this person. So, do you understand? The person that you're now seeing as home, that's where you eat, that's where you sleep, that's where, you know what I mean? This is the person you're going to marry. And I think something with women, like when we have these promises in front of us, like these expectations, and we built this dream house, and you're going to be Barbie and Ken in the dream house, and everything's going to be so perfect, and and even till today, I'll be honest, like I say I have a headache. They've bought me tickets to go and cure my headache.
To go and rest somewhere.
So, and I'm sorry to be that girl, but
no, don't be sorry.
Likes to be
That's another thing
nice.
I wanted to talk to you about. I feel like you're sometimes apologetic for coming from a rich home. Why do you have to feel sorry? Like, just said, I'm sorry I have to be that girl. What girl? The girl that her parents buy tickets for to go and chill?
I've been in places where they're spraying money, right? And they're spraying dollars or $100 bills. And when the money is falling near me, they'll be like, no, I can't speak. Don't let him touch him. In Papa Rich, I beg. You know, that kind of, so I've always felt a type of way, like people feel like I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't deserve to enjoy because of what I had, if that makes any sense.
Well, it may make sense on paper, but I mean, in practical, that's not the life that you live. So why should you be sorry? I mean, I'm genuinely interested. And not to put you on the spot, it's just to let you see from, like, stand outside of it and say, why are you sorry? And again, it comes in these small conversations that we have. I'm sorry to be that girl. To be what girl? Enjoyment want to finish me. If it was me, if I was you. The way I would say that, I just went to Paris last night. I will be showing my enjoyment. It doesn't make me less empathetic or whatever. I post my trips
online, but
you do.
I post quarter. Half of my trips I can't post.
Just because you don't want, you're sorry like for your privilege.
It's too much, yeah.
The kind of backlash that you receive constantly, especially about your career. Yeah. So let's onboarding that as well, right? When your career is going in this kind of direction and you don't seem to be taken seriously. How do you feel and how do you let people know how hard you work behind the scene?
To be honest, I can't really... So I'll first just break it down like this. When it comes to, like, relationships, because I'm a lover girl, like I'm a hopeless romantic, I'm a bit softer. But with people, I'm not that soft. And I'll tell you why. I think that we all from psychology classes, or I'm not an expert, but what I think I learned. I think that people think in frames. And anything outside of your frame, you can't fully understand. So, for instance, if they tell you, this man is bad, this man is bad, this man is bad, he's da-da-da, you may be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with him. Or until it happens close to you. Absolutely. So people think in their frames. If you grew up and when you were growing up, all the women in your life were like maybe prostitutes or hustlers or whatever, you're going to naturally think that other people are hustling or prostitute. Like, if you're surrounded by stupidity, so you're going to be seen stupid everywhere you go. So when people assume that I'm stupid or, you know, maybe I'm not that smart or this, or because I like fashion and things like that, that I don't have an intellectual side.
I know.
I live in facts.
Have you seen Idia on TV before?
My CV.
Talking politics.
My CV is
talking
facts.
science. So how does that make you feel? Because there is right, it's out, it's there.
So this is the thing about feelings. I live in facts. So my CV is facts.
Yes.
Where I'm coming from, my experiences, where I've lived, everything is facts. So with people, I feel like they're projecting a lot on me,
Yes.
and I don't mind what they think. It's when they say things to other people and things like that that it irritates me a bit.
Yeah.
But you can't control it.
So you don't mind the backlash. You don't mind the talk.
Most people that talk about me don't even know me. How many people
course.
actually know me? So
it just feels like talking to you. I mean, sometimes we laugh a lot about these things, but having these conversations, it takes you back to wondering, how do you go through all these things and genuinely heal? Because no matter what we say, these things, they
hurt some. I mean,
they hurt.
I have a strong support system, but minus that, I remember back in the days when I first moved to Nigeria, I didn't know anything about. I would say I thought I was the only witch. I didn't know true
Witches
meanness until I moved to Nigeria. They would write something and I would literally be rolling on the floor, crying. Everybody's trying to calm me down. It's just going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's your fault. And my family would say, it's your fault. Instead of coming to the family business. Look at you.
You want to go and do entertainment.
When you want to be seen, you are seen. I'm like, no. And I would be so emotional all the time. But I think now, because I have a very strong support system, I've been leaning more to them.
Yeah.
Leaning more to them so that kind of relationship, maybe, I can be better prepared and sight it from the beginning and cut it off at its roots. I get the words of affirmation from the people that really matter.
Yes.
So everybody else is just dust.
Okay. I feel now that you're calmer, because I didn't want us to go too deep into that other side, because I just wanted to distract you a little bit. But I want to go back to asking, from there to the violence to now, what has that healing process been like? Or have you healed?
I believe I have, because I can at least talk about it now. My family didn't find out about it till like some weeks ago.
Weeks ago?
And it happened 2 years ago.
Wow.
2.5 years ago.
Wow.
What happened after that was that I became very hard. Everybody that tried to date me saw shiggy. Like I became the monster. I became the one that was like gaslighting, and I became very, very, and you kind of get to a point where you are even realizing, am I the one? I became that person, and I was just avoiding guys in general because I didn't want to be treated that way again. Most importantly, I didn't want to be scared of hanging out with my friends and my family and stuff like that again. So I don't know if I'll call it healing, but the fact that I can actually even talk about it is better. Yeah.
Do you think you're able to talk about it now because you're going therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly. But the therapy, even, it just helps me really pinpoint, like anytime I'm thinking about stuff, I'm like, she tells me to isolate the situation and first think, am I making this up in my head, or is this actually happening? Am I just generalizing, or is this an actual problem? And then we realize that we create a lot of problems in our head. Yeah. Oh my God, this person looked at me. Look at how Ife looked at me today. Oh, she doesn't like me.
Yeah.
And then I had to start seeing situations for what they are. Now, sometimes it feels like I'm watching my life from the outside. I'm like, nope, we're not doing this. This person doesn't like me. She's the close friend to this person who invited me for a dinner. Yeah. I'm not going. Yeah. Do you understand? Because I don't even need the energy. Sometimes it's not what people say. It's what they don't say. And now I just avoid altogether.
Yeah, that's what therapy does to you. Therapy allows you to see from the outside.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you solutions. It will just allow you to see. Yeah. Point out the problem. How do you want to deal with this? Or what's, exercises. Because I'm sure you get exercises.
The best exercise I've ever done is they told me to write on a sheet of paper and create a circle. And inside of that circle, write the names of people that really matter to me. People whose opinions I value. It was a nice list. It wasn't long, but it was a really nice list. I had to think, okay, why do I value this person's opinion, etc.? Yeah. And they said, anybody that is not in this list, everything they say doesn't matter. Yeah. So that was one of the nicest things. I also divided my life into like the spiritual, etc., career, blah, blah, blah. Yes. And started weighing like what I'm giving more focus to, etc. So something bad happens to me and I'm just eating. I probably like, how is she calm? It's because
you have looked at it from outside of yourself.
I'm also adulting. I'm too busy to break down.
Yeah.
Like I just need to get stuff done, and then I come back to it later from an analytical stand. How am I going to address this thing? So,
But do you allow yourself to feel it though?
I mean, I broke down today.
Yeah, today.
It's good enough. One breakdown is good enough for now.
Do you allow yourself feel? Because even therapy just tells us feel, analyze after, but do not react. I don't know if your therapist has ever told you that.
I cry a lot in therapy. So she tells us about this emotional intelligence that allows you to realize that it's not everything you need to give a reaction to.
Yep.
And that's been quite helpful.
Yeah.
It's not everything I will not react to.
Yeah.
So be careful. But,
you react to some.
Some people are
they deserve it.
Collect. Some people are going, because honestly, you get to a point where you're even like, I need to set the record straight. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
Because the one time I'm going to do it is going to mean something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you feel like at some point people, first, I'm glad that we're here and we're getting to the place where we're going to talk about healing for the violence and all of that. The truth is, I'm not aware of this story. No. Information, but I'm not aware of the story. There are two different things,
Which
right?
one?
The violence story.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware of the information, not aware of the story. And that's why the way that it happened shocked me so much.
Yeah.
That this is what it was. I mean, I just said it, and I always say when people are ready to speak, they will speak.
Yeah.
But hearing exactly how it happened bothered me a lot. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah.
So I will take my time to get back into my headspace of genuinely doing a show or a podcast.
I know you're the one asking the questions, but can I ask you a question?
Tell me.
Men always say that they want a woman that works, that brings something to the table. But then when you're working, it's such a problem. Which is it? Like, which way?
But for the kind of man. And I think that at the end of the day, that's what I was asking you. Where have we grown from that place to here?
Yeah.
Because when you get to a place in your life, you begin to, like therapy said, what matters to you? Because when we begin to pick that, we pick the right men. This doesn't matter to me. Dating a Lagos boy doesn't matter to me. Dating people who are outside consistently, it doesn't matter to me.
Not at all.
Physical fitting, let everybody say power couple, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
What matters to me is my happiness. You find that you pick the right guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. When that time comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Did I
thing.
answer
Thank
your
you.
question?
That helped.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get back into the headspace. Yeah. So talking about your career and how far you have come, do you think you get enough accolades? Do you think you get enough recognition on the work that you've done? Because I know you're going to London for a play with people like RMD, Kunle Remy. Do you feel genuinely that you get the recognition that you want or that you deserve?
If I'm being honest, no. I think that a lot of people in our industry in Nollywood definitely don't get the props they deserve. A lot of us work hard. People work hard. But I'll say for myself, I think that I wasn't fully given a chance. I feel like, kind of like how Afrobeats has blown up, Nollywood has a very huge opportunity. Opportunity as well. Because it's more than potential now, because the actors are there, the writers are there, the technical people are there, the scripts are there. Where we face a challenge is just having everything come together seamlessly. And we also face a challenge that is a general Nigerian issue. I came into the industry because I was sick and tired. I used to watch Nollywood movies with my dad all the time growing up. So I knew all the movies growing up. Like, we're talking Domitila, Karashika, Living in Bondage, Diamond Ring, all of them. Like, when we say all the classics, all Intimate Strangers, etc., I watched everything. Danger Zone, where the giant lizard swallowed Ramsey Noah. You know what I'm saying? I watched. I
remember that.
I didn't watch film. I watched films. To talk to somebody about a Nigerian film, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, me, I don't watch Nigerian films." Oh, sorry, I don't watch Nigerian. You know, and in Nigeria, we think it's cool to say we don't eat Nigerian food, or we don't do this, or we don't vacation in Nigeria, or we don't. You know, it's like, I was like, no. And a banker once told me, when NECA came out, a lot of really, really prominent people sent me messages. I got messages, like, before they drag me now, they said they brag. Let me just keep quiet. I got messages that if you're in this industry, we're going to watch these films because there's something there. And I was motivated. I wanted to make films that people from the diaspora, people in corporate, because I was in corporate, 8 years in corporate America, people that just have sense and want to watch good, well-developed stories want to watch. I was like, I'm going to make films and I'm going to be in films that these people appreciate. And that's why I came into the industry. And I was so sick and tired of people saying, oh, actors are this. I've seen my colleagues, I don't even work half as hard. I've seen my colleagues work hard, Ife, my God. Do you understand? I've seen some really talented people and they've done nothing wrong except that they're in an industry that doesn't pay them the respect they deserve. You see somebody talking about, I don't want to use like a Kunle Remi or a Daniel F. Young or whoever, and they'll be like, hey, but it's just a Nigerian actor. Why people making it? What? Excuse me? Many of the American actors that you're talking about, they're cuter than them. What do you, like, do you understand? But because they're Nigerian, we want to downplay it. Give me a break. Do you understand? We think that dissing Nigeria is cool. And look at the way Afrobeats blew up. Now they're respecting them outside. And now we're saying, oh, they are not nice to us. Why should they be nice to you? Why should they be nice to you when you were never nice to them? Do you understand? The fans make the people, don't get me wrong. You can't be anybody if people don't go to the cinema to watch your movie, etc. But we need to not make people feel like nonsense.
So is that how you felt?
I feel like I could be doing anything in the world and I would be very successful.
But you chose Nollywood.
Oh, yes. It was a very, very, like, it was a decision. I could be, like, it's...
Yeah, I know.
The
So who did not give you a chance? Or
I feel, no, there were comments, you know. I've been on a set before and an actress said something like, why are they always giving this girl lead role or giving her an opportunity that rich man picking? You know, there's comments or people call me to negotiate my fees and they're like, oh, but you don't need the money. How do you call me to talk about a professional job and you're telling me I don't need the money, you know? Or...
you open a charity foundation, please. So that we know that non-profit.
My time is charity, you know? And I think, so I had an accident last year.
Yes.
And I think there was a little bit of, like a glimmer of hope. I was like, okay, wow, people... The love I felt, I was like, okay, people care if I live or die. That was nice. Because I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. We shouldn't only recognize people and celebrate them when they're dead.
When they're dead or about to die. Or you think that, yes,
you know?
yes.
Like, people deserve more.
Yeah.
Our content creators, our actors, our movie makers, like, just appreciate people. Like, if Nigerians make a movie, I'm not saying that all Nigerian films are the best, but I'm saying these people that make these films and are in these films, they have friends. Support your friends. Do you understand what I mean? Support your friends. And even you that made the movie, don't talk nonsense about the film. I just did it, so, you know, I'm just in Nigeria just because, hey, you know, I can actually be in Paris. If you could be, like, you know, and yeah, but there's.
So you thought you're not given a chance. The time that you had this accident and you actually broke, it's not like, you did not sprain. You
broke my leg in 3 places.
Your legs in 3 places.
Side, front.
Yes. Did you feel at that point like, because your whole thought is, how do I go back to work? Do I ever go back to work? Was your sense of self still together at the time?
When I had that accident, I was quiet for a long time. The accident happened July 6th. I didn't start posting until September. And first of all, this is because they had told us things like in the hospital in the UK, because I was treated in Croatia, the surgery was done obviously immediately. Otherwise, you start having conversations of whether the person will actually ever walk, because they have to place everything exactly. And you have to be careful of infections. The longer it stays, it was exposed, blah, blah, blah. So we had the surgery done in Croatia. In the UK, the man had to say to my family, he said, your sister's very strong. And she said, oh, I know, blah, blah. And he said, no, you don't understand. She's in a lot of pain. And she's making jokes and she's smiling. And every time people would come to see me, I was making people laugh and I was very, you know, I would be gisting. you reach a peak of pain where you can't feel pain anymore. And I think more than the therapy and my past experiences, I think that I am functioning now. I'm working very hard, but I think I'm functioning now, not really breaking down as much as a result of the peak of pain I felt from that accident and from losing my dad. It's kind of like...
What more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, please, I did not say you should show me what's more. I'm just this is an interview. But I have seen pain. It was painful. I thought, first of all, you think you're going to die because obviously I was. And then the second part is all the scary, you know how doctors are. The guy said, your sister is in a lot of pain. She had the worst kind of fracture. And this girl, before she walks properly again, it's going to take 2 to 3 years. When he said that, I said, that's it. I already knew I was going to be... I already knew that people would pity me, which is one thing I do not like.
Ever want, yeah.
I already knew that. So I had 3 films. I had auditioned for 1 film. In the audition, I saw the people on their phones. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? My manager told me, they just messaged me to say that Idia is so good. She has grown as an actor. When I say I'm on my A game, I'm like A++++++. I'm not playing with anybody right now. And there's no room to play anymore in my life. So, because this is sink or swim season, right? And I landed all these roles. I'm supposed to shoot in the Niger Delta, here. I had a campaign, an endorsement to sign, and
suddenly
I can't walk. I can't walk. I can't tell the stakeholders in my life, the people giving me money, that, see, these deals that we've talked about,
might not happen.
It can't happen. Yeah. So I was quiet for days, weeks, in the sense that I would joke with people, but when everybody was talking about prayer, NSPPD, we're raising an altar for you with that, I was just staring. Quiet. I was waiting. And I think, you know that whole be still and know that I am God. I was waiting for God to play his hand. I couldn't shower myself. I couldn't eat myself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's gone now.
And people would make comments like, it's not just leg break. My uncle broke his leg. He started walking within 1 month.
Really? Your old uncle?
Nigerians always have a story of what happened.
I know one uncle like that. I know one cousin.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
And some people would shout at me, get up, walk. Think they get up, Idia, walk, as if I was doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
And that really hurt me because I wasn't the leg was not, it couldn't even touch the floor.
Yeah.
It couldn't even touch the floor. I was frustrated.
So who were you that time? In that old period? Who was Idia? Because that's what I said. Your sense of self, of working, taking pictures, dressing up, acting. You couldn't do all of those things and you were not even sure that it could happen. So when all of those things felt like they were taken away from you, who were you then?
I think the real Idia came to play because the foundation, like the basics, like everything was now evident. You see, this is my support system that takes a back seat. They're not out there. So people insult me. They're like, let's go and arrest them. But they're very quiet. So my family is very chill. But the way they came through for me, the way they were with me every day, their kids, their in-laws, like my family, people leaving their jobs as MDs of companies to come and be taking me to hospital appointments. People, they were there. Like when I say they were there, then when I say followers, people that I've never met, that I don't know, Idia, what do you need? Idia, send us your account number. Idia, and the flowers. I love flowers. The flowers. I feel like no matter what happens to me, I got my flowers. Like I got my flowers in that period. And that was one of the most beautiful, what do you say, like a fruit, like the most beautiful things that transpired out of that horrible incident. But in that period, I was just somebody that needed love. I was somebody that I didn't actually know every day when I was having conversations with people like, sorry, I'm just abroad, I'll call you back. Because at first, I was doing a straight month of lying. That I'm still
okay.
No, that I'm in Europe. They didn't even know my leg was broken. Because it was like, you can't be that girl that the last image they see is a wheelchair or eventually the crutches.
Yeah.
So I was trying to keep it under wraps. I had a movie coming out and the pressure was, you need to post the film. Not even the you need to post. So I now said, okay, do you know what? Let people know where I've been for the last couple of months. And I posted the video thing. And that was how I now was able to post the film. But anyway,
you said at the time you were a girl that needed
love. And there were some people that showed it. There were some people that showed their witchcraft. There were different kinds of people. No, you trust me. When you're down, like if you lose somebody very important to you, or if something really bad happens to you, I'm sorry. It wouldn't matter, maybe, but you will see everything. It was like I was watching life in 3D. There were people that maybe they didn't come, and I gave them grace because based on what I had gone through, I realized that people are going through stuff.
Yeah, on their own.
Yeah. But then the second part of it was now like, there were people that made their witchcraft so evident. Like, they were very bent on me knowing that I'm not going to see you, I hope you die.
Yeah.
And that was also there.
But how can it be that serious?
It is that serious for some people. Some people don't like you if your light is too bright. Get out of the way. Yeah.
Did you receive the love that you felt you wanted at the time? I mean, you're saying that a lot of people didn't call or you needed.
A lot of people called. And it wasn't a want thing. This was now, everything that happened that period was a need. I needed all the prayers, all the encouragement. And that period.
You got what mattered though.
Ooh. Yeah. I needed, and I was fed, I was filled. It was nice.
I love that. There is a thing that I comes to my mind. Once or twice, it just goes and comes, But it does happen, when I look at you and I ask myself, is she ever at any point going to be her true self?
Okay.
Because, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Continue.
To the world, because there's a lot of hiding, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I don't want you to talk about me like this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be perceived like me that way. Yeah. And in this way that what you have decided to show, it still is not enough for many people. Like, she's a rich girl, she did this. At what point do you think that all of my stuff that I can be, of course, not my private life, but you know what I'm saying? If somebody says, what does Idia stand for today? Do you realize that many people may not know? Just because you're only showing, please, this is what I want you to see. The rest of my life, I'm holding back.
But you know the truth about it. Sometimes what we think is not enough is just us admitting to ourselves that someone is not our cup of tea. I'm champagne.
No, we know you're a champagne person.
No, let me explain.
Okay.
Everything you think I'm not giving or I'm not this, I'm naturally a shy person.
You are. Maybe you're not shy. You're not shy. You're not shy to me.
I am
but I'm not seeing that.
Extremely shy. And I used entertainment, TV, to try and come out. When I was younger, sometimes I couldn't talk. Yes.
Really?
Yes, I used journalism to harness my voice.
I would have to hear somebody else tell me that.
Oh,
really?
I have family I have people that can come. I'm the kind of person that I can be talking to you, I'll be dancing. We're going to do.
Yeah.
Once 5 people enter, I'm just like, the dance has vanished. Yeah. So what I'm showing, I've given too much to me. My yash is outside.
Really?
And I need my
yash back inside.
It's too much. Yes. So whatever they want from me that they're not getting, they should please go and
No,
find
I don't
it
care
elsewhere.
about them.
No, I'm just saying.
Do you understand?
This is a lot. This is a lot of self-sacrifice and
So you'd rather even be private?
I see some of my best friend. She's got about 6 posts on her page.
Yeah.
She is the one person I'm truly jealous of.
Because she knows she's protected everything.
It's not the protection.
Yeah.
She has a full life. A rich life, people that love her.
Yeah.
She has, when I say everything, she has everything. But all you get is 6 pictures. Deal with it. Do you know what I mean?
That's a revelation to me.
I swear. And I
would
see
rather
pages
be private.
like that. What? When I see a guy that tells me he doesn't have social media,
you love it.
Most of my boyfriends, except 2 unfortunate ones, most of the people I've dated, they don't have social media at all. They're like, why? If you got it, you got it. Do you understand? Like, they don't. They don't cho. No. I don't do cho people. Yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked about that. And it kind of actually changes, now what I would be saying. Because what I'm saying is that, Idia is not showing. Because maybe what I know, I'm like,
No.
like, speak the way you speak the way. But hearing that you would rather even not show all of those things at all.
Every day I'm trying to delete from my page, but I'm like, this one was an influencer collab. This one, I can't delete.
Yeah.
I trim my page down. I think now I have just 8,000 posts. I should have like I have 7,000 archived pictures.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But I don't want everything there.
Yeah.
And from that 1,000, I would rather it was like 200. Like maybe you can just see here and there, know what's important to me. Yeah, I guess. But me, you know? Yeah. I feel like I've shown too much. I've given too much. And I'm ready to take it back.
Well, everybody has a right to do that.
Yeah.
That's a little shocking for everybody.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I know. But that's fine with me because really, what you show is what you should want to show. What I thought I knew about your experience, with violence, not having heard the story at all, just information. Yeah. And so I brought the story to you because it's important to me that you guys see people like Idia who have traveled the world, you think their life is completely perfect, that they come and say, I have been through this is what I did, and all of that. You may have answered some of my questions on this story, but I know that there's more. And I would like to read the story to you and to the viewers. And let's talk about it.
Sure, let's go.
Let's take a pledge. You ready?
I hope so.
Many women have told me that they're careful about the kind of skincare products they put on their bodies when they are pregnant. The Dang Lifestyle Glow Getter Oil got you. It will help you reduce pigmentation on your stomach, your arm, your neck, and it will help you reduce stretch marks as well. It has vitamin C, licorice root oil. All of this will help you reduce pigmentation. Like most of pregnant women have told me that they want to do. Use this code to get 10% off on danglifestyle.com. Let's go. I, Ifedayo
Aisien,
promise to be kind, to be honest, and to not ask Ife who wrote in the story.
And to not ask Ife who wrote.
Speak up, oh.
And to not ask Ife who wrote in the story.
Thank you. I'm not going to tell you who wrote in the story anyway. Dear Ife, please don't judge me because growing into an adult has let me know that life isn't black and white. I have a boyfriend of 3 years and he's the most caring, intelligent, and self-aware man I've ever met. This man would literally cross the ocean for me, but there's one thing he does when he gets angry. He hits me. He has anger issues that I've tried to help him solve, but he won't go to a therapist. I try and stay away when I see the signs, but it looks like me staying away makes him more angry. And when he hits me, it's like he suddenly regrets it and calms down. Backstory. My man works hard for both of us. We live in the UK, and when I moved here, he literally took care of everything. So much so I didn't have to stress when I didn't get a job quick enough. Because his business is flexible, he's here with me a lot of the time. And since he's a British citizen, he's been asking for us to get married so that I won't stress about sponsorship, etc. He has proposed twice, and I've asked him to wait, that I'm not ready. The reason is because of his anger issues. He has made life easy for me. I live in London like a queen, and I don't have to doubt that he cares about me. He hit me first on our 6-month anniversary because he made plans and I forgot. It's a long story, but there was nothing he didn't do to win my heart back. But since then, we have been happy with the exception of when he gets angry and lashes out at me. The beating isn't anything that would send me to the hospital or leave marks or anything. Ife, all I'm saying is that I love this man. He's a good person, but I want him to change before I accept his proposal. Is there something I can do to help him that I haven't thought of? Please advise me and connect me to someone who can help if you can. I love you. I'm connecting you to somebody who has gone through it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not connecting you to somebody. Yes, in fact, I'm connecting somebody who can help, but somebody who has also been through it. That's who I'm connecting you to. So, I asked you initially, why do women rationalize these things? In her case, why is she rationalizing this? He's a good man. It's all of those things.
So first of all, This is somebody that wants to give her papers in the UK. Yes. So obviously she's there. I don't want to guess her visa, but
She talked about sponsorship. No, it's legally. She talked about sponsorship, so it means that maybe
So
she's
she
working.
wants to
I don't
stay
know what
there
that
permanently.
Yeah.
Yes. So if she's not with this person,
Yeah.
that's jeopardized. The only other way to get it would be through a company, and for a certain amount of
Time.
years,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there are benefits to being with this person, right? She started the story with saying that he's a very caring, which is how most,
Yeah.
would I say survivors? Most
Survivors, not victims.
most people,
Yeah.
talk about those partners because they condition you. I don't want to say they groom you, but they condition you. And I can actually say they groom you because first, like I said, he made me alienate people around me. He made me, do you understand? He made me dependent on him. He cut off my sources of income. He was, like, step by step, he was cutting off anything that would make me feel I was independent. So this lady's in a situation where she's quite dependent on this person. He gives her the impression that he's protecting her, that he deeply cares about her. And sometimes it's very hard to recognize when you're almost like, I don't want to say trophy property.
Yeah.
When somebody is starting to own you. Because if you leave them, what next?
What
It
do you
becomes
have?
harder. Exactly. It becomes harder to leave them. If you notice, many of these people, they will never give you money. They will want to buy the thing or do... No. They don't empower you. They can buy you a car. They're not going to give you that money in your hand, though. Never. Yes, of course. Any bag, anything you want, any property. They will give you the property in their own name. Things... Oh, absolutely. There are people like that. And half the time, so if you try to leave them, you're now fighting to start changing the name of documents, which is impossible. It's not yours. Things like that. So they've put you in a very tight corner. And then also, because naturally as human beings, I don't want to say we're quite greedy. I'm finding all the wrong words right now, but because naturally as human beings, we're creatures of habit. We're already used to a certain standard somebody's put you on. To now say that everything is just going to be gone like that overnight, and you're not going to be, and then the idea they've given you is that you're not going to be able to find somebody like that.
Like me.
That would do all those things again. Or even for yourself. Certain opportunities and doors have closed. So where do you start from? Do you understand? But this situation is not... I don't even want to say mine happened once, because violence is violence. But this is a repeated
Consistently.
thing. Exactly. And it may not be worse now, because the predator still hasn't gotten one thing they want, which is full ownership, you to marry them. Once you take that step, it's not the continuing, it will get, that is when it will graduate. For now, it's just small beating. Like, I'm just angry, that's why I lashed out. When you marry this person, it will be worse than that.
Yeah, definitely. So this is not love, it's greed. She says she loves him. And you're saying it's not love, it's greed.
It's almost like sometimes dependence, sometimes comfort. There are so many human emotions that because of the benefits, we think it's love. Wouldn't anybody want to wake up and feel safe? Wouldn't anybody want to wake up and know that there was somebody that, I don't want to say that they can predict, but somebody that no matter what happens, they have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Anybody hitting you doesn't have your best interest at heart. Let's call it what it is, And yes, love does have gray areas, but what is bad is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beating is bad. And what she said about it's not too much. It's never sent me to the hospital.
That part, I was a bit like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's that thing where the person also tries to make you feel like it's not that serious. Like what you just experienced is not that bad.
Yeah.
And those are the ones you need to be careful of. Oh, I've not been to hospital. Meaning there's even conditioning her to see that, it's just my temper. Like this is the only thing wrong with me. If he himself has even proposed to you twice and you haven't been able to accept, you know what's,
You know what's wrong. You see the problem. You just don't want to.
Yeah.
Do you think that somebody who hits you once can change and never hit you again?
Personally, honestly,
Yeah.
I would say yes. This is because I have done certain things before that I would never do again. Never. And there are some people that you do some things and then you realize, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to make the same mistakes that, maybe I've seen somewhere or whatever. You do some things and you're like, I can't believe that. There are things that people do that are out of character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there are also things people do that when they lose something important to them, they're like,
I don't want to ever lose that, so I have to sit up.
Exactly. So I do think sometimes it can be once, but this person, this is
It's not once.
We're watching a series here. This is a TV series. It's, like,
it's not once.
Season 4.
You having had your family or had people around that you could run back to, do you think that in this kind of situations, when you don't have people to run back to, it's harder for you to leave?
Absolutely. Because even at the end of the day, his house was here, my house was down the road. Do you understand? Imagine if I was fully living with that person. It's different now. But even think about the fact that I couldn't call anybody at that time because it was so random, because I was already avoiding them. I was actually avoiding. They are calling me, I'm not picking because he's telling me, your daddy has died. People will turn on you. You're the last born. You're going to get the least. Those kind of conversations that somebody is whispering in your ear. Now look at it. Were you not supposed to get, those kind of things. And luckily we were raised in so much love that at the time I was like, I never thought about that. I'm not as much as I seem like I really like the high life. When I love people, money is the last thing. Yeah, it's you. It's me and you. Yeah. So I was not thinking about that with my family or anything. But with this situation, if I wasn't even in a situation where I had a family to fall back on, or I had the kind of job I have, the day you wake up and start posting again, they will start hiring you again.
Okay.
Do you understand? You just have to, I'm ready now, I'm back on my grind. Everybody too is like, she's back. The comebacks are easy. But imagine if you're in a 9-to-5 or you're abroad and you're dependent on the fact that you need that job to stay abroad and things like that. Your life goes back to square one. But I would always say choose your life, because it doesn't matter if you get to stay abroad if you're still going to die.
Yeah, true. So in this instance, based on what you've said, somebody can hit you once and not ever do it again.
Absolutely.
And if they ask for help, should you stay there to help them or help them from afar?
I don't think I'm very qualified to. So I've been in a situation where somebody cheated on me and the girl was screaming and crying, and she was saying, how can Idia be the one? Is it because her family is this that you're choosing her? And the guy was like, no, everybody knows that Idia is my girlfriend. And I was just... And when he said that to her, it confirmed that they were actually sleeping together. So I lost it. Yeah. And I've never told the story to maybe no more than my shadow and my best friend. The first thing I did, I threw my phone and broke the lights. When the light went out, I rushed him. And I think it was the most horrible thing I've ever done. Yeah. Because guess what? We say men shouldn't do this, men shouldn't do that, but it's almost a double standard. Why, as a woman, is it okay for me to lose my temper and do that? And then I'm saying, I felt like the lowest, the worst kind of human being. And Ife, I am not on that level. If I'm in a situation where you cheat on me or something, before you can even say, babe, this is what I've gone. You're disappeared. I'm not, I will not do that. I will never be in a position where I have to be that low in my life. And it's like it's never, And
so that's why you feel it can happen once and not again.
You have to be intentional about change. It's so out of character. I'm not even that person. So I don't know.
One time. Well, my question is, do you stay to help or help from afar?
People's situations are different. So, in her own situation, for the paper, sorry.
Yeah.
In her own situation, I do think that ultimatums are not bad. People say that ultimatums are bad, but I feel like if he wants you that much, you can tell him, unless you get therapy, I'm not going to give you a second chance. I'm here for moral support, but unless you start seeing somebody and talking to somebody, I'm not going to know if you're actually willing to do
change.
the work to to change is not overnight. So to do the work to change, and some people really do the work. Some people pretend to change, but you know it's fake, because if you didn't do the work, like how did you just said, oh, I'm not going to do it? No.
Yeah. Are you willing to do the work?
It's a shame thing. It's where I cannot believe I did this. This is why I did this. This is why I shouldn't do this. And I can never be in this kind of situation again. So even when there are triggers, maybe he'll go downstairs instead of staying upstairs where the argument is happening. Or maybe he'll say, babe, please, just give me a moment.
Yeah.
And he'll walk into the bedroom instead, and and there's
himself together.
Yeah. So
I understand
ultimatum time.
Yeah, for me, this is too much. If you ask me, because this story is very new and very fun. As soon as I saw it, I said, oh my God, I need Idia to talk about this. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I didn't even know the story, but that's the story in full. But I said, Idia has gone through this. I need her to talk about this. For me, I believe very strongly that this kind of situation is not where you should stay at all. I dislike, because YouTube will ban me if I use the other word, but I dislike violence. That you hit me at one time, you could do it again, right? And if you come to me and say, well, I'm not going to do it again, go far and be showing me that you're not going to do it again.
The work.
I don't think me being in your life, and I don't think this lady being in this guy's life, is going to make him change.
Yeah.
I feel like we all want what we want, and women will sometimes stay just because of what we want, not what is good for us, or, what is good for the relationship, but we stay for ourselves. In this case, I think that, lady, you're staying for the things that you want from this man, and you're not thinking that you may not end up in hospital today.
Maybe the morgue.
It may be the morgue, sis.
Yeah.
Think about it. Violence is non-negotiable. I don't think we should negotiate that in a relationship. And once it happens, you need to see, even you as yourself, as Idia said, oh, I did it once, I thought about myself. You have to wonder, this person that made me do this, I shouldn't be. Like in this relationship, I should get help for myself, but whatever it means that this thing was brought out of me needs to be cut off.
It was not inside me. I was very young, please.
Whatever it is that made me do this. And jokes aside, it needs to be cut off. Because you don't need that energy around you. So I hope that, you're watching. I know that you are. You're an ardent Dank member. That this is not where you should be. There is no excuse. There is no love that is enough that will cause you, hurt physically, emotionally. In this case, it's causing you even your self-worth. And I can see it very clearly from your writing.
You are not a rehabilitation center for broken men. No,
you are not. Think about that. Before we go and I recap this story for you, I have a gift for Idia.
Really?
I do.
I love gifts. That's my love language. Now we're talking.
I know.
Now we're talking. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
So much, Ife.
Of course. From the people at Dang Lifestyle. We are giving you this for coming on the show.
Not one.
Yes.
But two. Two, honey.
Yes.
Two. I love this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my darling.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
We're giving you this for coming on the show, and we hope you enjoy it. We hope you use it. And let us know the feedback you get.
I will absolutely use it. Thank you.
Thank you. To summarize the story to you, this lady is in a very violent relationship, in a 3-year relationship that had been violent since it was 6 months old. And she says the guy gets angry and he apologizes immediately after he hits her. He's amazing. He would cross the ocean for you. But no, he continues to hit her when he gets mad. She loves him. She wants to see how she can help him to not be violent towards her. You know what? We have said what we have to say. It is now over to you. Let's know what you think in the comments. I will be reading.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Did you like this episode? Don't forget to comment, like, share, and click the subscribe button. To watch another episode of Dear Ife Series, click here.